It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to a 7-game homestand and opening up a 3-game series with Arizona. The Dodgers last year beat Arizona 13 of the 18 times, and on the mound for the Dodgers tonight, Clayton Kershaw, with a record of 4-3, has beaten Arizona 3 straight. For the Diamondbacks, with Kirk Gibson at the helm, they send left-hander Joe Saunders out to the mound. Saunders is 0-4, trying to snap that 4-game losing streak. For the Dodgers, they've done reasonably well against left-hand starters. They are 7-3. One other note, Giants lost this afternoon to the Cubs, so the Dodgers will take the field tonight despite all the injuries, only 3 games back. We'll get to the ball game. It'll be all coming up right after this.
Prime Ticket is brought to you by San Manuel. Celebrate your birthday this year at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino and receive a special birthday package. Visit sanmanuel.com for details. You must be 21 to enter the casino.
Twilight in the big city. The parking lot filling up already. Dodgers back home after that 9-game road trip. Dodgers in Arizona for the first time this year. It is first of 3 against Arizona and the first of 7 here at the ballpark. Jim Watson and Steve Lyons in center field. Let's take a look at our Hyundai keys to the game. Let's start with your starting pitchers. Clayton Kershaw against Joe Saunders.
Well, Joe Saunders might be picking the wrong time to try to get his first win of the season going up against Clayton Kershaw. This is his 9th start. He's had a loss, no decision, loss, no decision, loss, no decision, loss. What's he going to get again today?
No decision.
I don't know. 0-4. It's an ugly record right there. Clayton Kershaw, I didn't really think he had his great stuff in his last start out, but he has won 2 games in a row now. One note on Clayton Kershaw, has never won this season when going on 4 days rest. If he gets 5 days rest, he's a much better pitcher. He's 0-4 this season on 5 days rest with an ERA of over 5. Keep your eye on him.
Kershaw's been great this month, only allowed 3 runs in 13 2/3 in wins over the Mets and the Cubs. Kershaw also has dominated Arizona. Last year he was 3-0 and his ERA was 1.4. Enjoy the ball game. Steve, myself, and Kevin Kennedy meet you in center field after the final out.
By Hyundai, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealer for details. By Shakey's, win a pizza party for 10. Go to Shakey's.com. By CarMax, now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers are home, having just completed their road trip, and they break the seal on a 7-game homestand, starting out this weekend with Arizona. Then they'll have a couple with Milwaukee and San Francisco before going back out on the road again. For the Dodgers, facing a team they beat 13 of 18 times last year, and another team with a poor record. The Dodgers on the road trip did not take advantage of the losing opposing teams. And, of course, Kirk Gibson comes home to one of his greatest triumphs, and we welcome him here, of course, with open arms. So here's Gibby's lineup for tonight's game. Chris Young in center field and Melvin Mora at third base. Xavier Nady at first base and Stephen Drew at short. Justin Upton in right field. Kelly Johnson at second base, Gerardo Parra in left field, Henry Blanco behind the plate, and Joe Saunders on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, their 23-year-old left-hander Clayton Kershaw. Interesting how Clayton works as far as days of rest. He pitched last Sunday, so he goes to the mound with 5 days rest. When he has a 5-day rest, he is 4-0 and an earned run average of less than 1. If he has a 4-day rest, he is 0-3 and an earned run average of about 5.5. Well, he's against the Arizona D-backs. He has beaten them 3 straight. He is 3-1 lifetime, and he's looking for his 5th win of the year. He's coming off a victory. He beat the Mets in New York, went 6 2/3 and allowed just 1 run. So Clayton Kershaw ready, and we'll find out now about the Arizona Diamondbacks. Couple of things about Arizona on offense. They're very aggressive. You're liable to see a few first swings on the very first pitch coming up to the plate. They do have power. They're second in the league in home runs. They don't hit into double plays. So they do several things very well. But most of the things they do well offensively is at home, because on the road there's a big difference between how they hit home and road. So here's Chris Young hitting .215 to lead it off. Right-hand hitter, and the first pitch to him is in for a strike, and the count 0-1. When you look at Arizona's lineup against Kershaw, Young is 2 for 14. Upton is 0 for 7. Drew is 1 for 11. So you can see where Kershaw has really dominated. He works away in a 1-ball, 1-strike count. 64 degrees on this Friday the 13th. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball hit late, slicing foul down the right field line, and it will drop just fair. And running slowly to first is Chris Young. I thought he was thinking it was a foul ball, and then the ball just stayed fair, and he really had to take off to get to second base. So a fly ball double to right field just down the line, landing a few inches inside the foul line. So a leadoff double for Chris Young, and the batter now will be Melvin Mora. So Young, 2 for 14, comes up with a double, his 10th of the year. And now we'll look at Melvin Mora, who is 1 for 8 against Kershaw. Clayton will look back as he goes into that high stretch of his, hands high up over his head. Comes with a fastball high and away. Ball 1, 1-0. Melvin Mora swinging a pretty good bat, hitting .282. No score. We're just starting. Chris Young dropping a fly ball double into right field. Mora 1 for 5 off the recent series against the Giants. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. Melvin tries to go to right field, fouls it away off to the right, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Melvin has hit safely in 12 of his last 17 as a starter, trying to get his man over to third. That thumbnail sketch of Arizona, it started a couple of years ago. The big difference between how they hit on the road and how they fare at home. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's punched in the air, back of first down the line. Loney along with Miles, a collision, fair ball. Holding up at second is Young, so he goes to third. Into second base goes Mora on a pop fly double just inside the right field foul line as Loney and Miles come together in pursuit of the ball and both take a header. So a wobbly start for the Dodgers. Ether couldn't get there. Miles was the middleman, and the ball seemed to go in and out of Loney's glove as Miles and Loney collided. So all Ether could do is come over and pick up the ball, and it'll be back-to-back doubles. Neither ball hit very hard. Pop fly inside the line, pop fly collision, and we have runners at second and third, nobody out. And now Nady, Drew, and Upton coming up. So Kershaw anything but lucky right now. Second and third, nobody out, and the right-hand hitter Nady, check swing on a pitch for a strike, and the count 0-1. With runners at second and third, the Diamondbacks struggling because they've not been able to hit with runners in scoring position over the last 3 weeks. They're hitting 188 over that stretch with runners in scoring position. Kershaw strike one, pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Barajas. That saved a run, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. For the Diamondbacks, they've really done a complete about face. The first 2 weeks of the season, they hit 299 with runners in scoring position for Kirk, but in the last 3 weeks, 188. So Gibby watching as Nady, Drew, and Upton try to get the Diamondbacks on the board. Nady hitting 265, 7 runs batted in. Kershaw ready, delivers, and it's sprayed foul upstairs. And the count 1-2 as the ball eventually comes down below. So Kershaw touched up for 2 fluky doubles. Chris Young standing at third, Melvin Moore at second, nobody out. Nady 0 for 6 in the past against Kershaw. So you can understand, seeing all the low averages, the job that Kershaw has done in the past against Arizona. The 1-2 pitch, Nady takes low, another nice save by Barajas. So considering the first one would have scored a run and would have had Moore at the third, and that one, had it gotten away, would have brought in Moore. So already Barajas has saved 2 runs here in the first inning. The big Rod settles into a crouch, putting up a roadblock back there. Kershaw looks down the barrel to get a sign. High stretch, runners at second and third, nobody out. And the next pitch in the dirt, waved at and missed. The out recorded at first. So Xavier Nady chasing that big overhand pitch in the dirt. Bad ball. And you can see that the D-backs are pressing. And here comes Kershaw to bounce it. And there goes Nady swinging at it. So that's a gift. 1 out. And now Stephen Drew. Stephen Drew is the one D-back who is hitting well on the road, better than at home. At home, he's hitting .246. On the road, .341. And he is 5 for 15 with runners in scoring position. So this will be a tough out as Drew checks in. He has not been able to do much against Kershaw, and his first pitch is high, ball 1. Drew in the past just 1 for 11 against Kershaw. Second and third, 1 away, no score, first inning. Kershaw on and off the rubber, so Drew backs off for the moment. Hitting behind Drew is Justin Upton, and he has not done well at all on the road. So this is a big batter for him. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Ted Barrett is the plate umpire. Brian Runge, Manny Gonzalez, Marvin Hudson working the lines. D-backs will be here for the weekend. Then Milwaukee will be in Monday and Tuesday nights, followed by the Giants Wednesday and Thursday nights. 1-1 pitch to Drew is taken high. 2-1 the count. So the one time that Kershaw came low is when he bounced the curveball to strike out Nady. 2-1 the count. The 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Kershaw so far this year 54 strikeouts, and remember, he donates $100 per strikeout, building that orphanage in Africa. So that's $5,400 so far. 2-2 the count. Young down the line from third, Mora from second. 2-2 pitch is high, ball 3. First base open, and Justin Upton waiting on deck. Upton, the right-hand hitter, sandwiched between Drew and Johnson, who hit left-handed. 3-2 the count. Matt Williams watching his runners at second and third, and the 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and down goes Stephen Drew. So I guess you could say in many ways it's the same old Arizona Diamondback ball club, because you remember for the last couple of years the D-backs as a team were always leading in strikeouts. And of course, for a hitter like Kirk Gibson, who is known for clutch hitting, it has to be maddening. So now here's Justin Upton, and we were saying that the team doesn't do well on the road. Upton, in 17 games on the road, is hitting .203. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to be looped to second base to Miles. Kershaw is out of the jam, and the Diamondbacks roll over, leaving runners at second and third. And at the end of half an inning, D-backs nothing, Dodgers coming up. Very unlucky on 2 pop fly doubles, one a collision with Loney and Miles, and yet on 18 pitches he got out of the inning unscathed. Here's the Dodger lineup: Jamie Carroll at short, Aaron Miles at second, Andre Ethier in right field, Matt Kemp hits cleanup in center, Juan Uribe at third, James Loney at first, Rod Barajas, who in a sense saved 2 runs in the first inning, behind the plate, Jerry Sands in left field, Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound, Joe Saunders, out of the Phoenix area, and went to school at Virginia Tech, that is. He's from Falls Church, Virginia. You may remember when Joe was with the Angels, certainly back in 08 when he won 17 and 09 when he won 16. But since he has come over to Arizona, it has been a struggle. Joe has been on the wild side, and he'll be facing Jamie Carroll. And the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Saunders is 6'3" and 210, 30 years old, the middle of June. He's been unlucky. There have been 9 infield hits against him as he works away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. His earned run average this year, 5.7. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's swung on and missed, 1-2. For Joe Saunders, in looking at his walks and strikeouts, he has struck out 23, but he has walked 20, so he's been struggling. 1-2 the count. Jamie hitting .308. Saunders turns, ready, deals, and misses down and away. 2-2 the count. Jamie Carroll, who has done a remarkable job day in and day out, the so-called utility player, batting .308. 2-2 pitch is fouled away off the facade and down into the lower deck, and the count remains 2-2. For Jamie Carroll, facing Joe Saunders, he's 2 for 8. No score, bottom of the first inning. Saunders working from the third base side of the rubber, and the next pitch is low. 3-2 the count. Waiting on deck, Aaron Miles and then Andre Ethier. No score, first inning, 3-2. Here comes Saunders, left-hander deals, and there goes the ball up the middle for a base hit. So a 3-2 fastball, and Jamie Carroll, as the players say, sitting on it, and singles to center. Here, the way the D-backs set up defensively, the outfield, Para, Young, and Upton, and the infield would be Mora, Drew, Johnson, and Nady. And behind the plate, you have Henry Blanco, the former Dodger, handling Joe Saunders, the former Ranger. So here now, Aaron Miles. Miles has never faced Joe Saunders. Aaron hitting .277. Saunders delivers a bunt in the air, foul, drops untouched in front of the D-back dugout, and the count 0-1. Aaron Miles, just like Jamie Carroll, doing a marvelous job, considering the fact with Casey Blake out, with Rafael Furcal out, Miles playing second and Jamie Carroll playing short. Mentioning Furcal, he's going out tomorrow and will play with Albuquerque. They're going to have him start batting left-handed. Remember, he broke his right thumb. And they said they weren't going to call Rafael back until he could hit from both sides of the plate. So that means Jamie has to hang in there and keep grinding. Casey Blake just started hitting soft toss yesterday, took some ground balls, trying to get him to get his strength back. Miles, full swing, pops it up down the line, and foul ground is Melvin Mora to make the catch. So 1 away. Carroll holding at first base, and Andre Ethier coming up.
The Dodgers, right fielder number 16, Andre Ethier.
Andre Ethier might have had his streak stopped, but he still is working on another streak. Most consecutive games reaching base. The Dodger record since 1958. Sean Green reached base 53 times, either hit, walk, or hit by pitch. 53 games. Well, Andre has made 35 straight so far. Ethier also has done a good number on Saunders in the past. It's a little flare caught by Drew. Throws to first to double up Carroll. From where Jamie was, I think he thought that ball was going to drop, and Drew just made a good play to double him. No runs, a hit, nobody left, and at the end of an inning, no score.
Kelly Johnson.
The innocence of youth on display. A couple of little guys gesturing. One has his glove, catching an imaginary fly ball. Great to watch. Second inning, no score, and here's Kelly Johnson, left-hand hitter, and he takes a little high. Ball 1 and 0. Kelly Johnson against Clayton Kershaw. 2 for 6. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Kelly fouls it back. The Giants had a great homestand. Remember, they went 6-0. They swept Arizona. They went to Chicago today, and they were blown out 11-4. Madison Bumgarner's record now 0-6. Ryan Dempster struck out 11 in that game. The 1-1 pitch on the way, fouled off to the left, out of play. Also, Johnny Vandermeer's feat of back-to-back no-hitters was threatened tonight in Detroit. Justin Verlander, the same initials as Johnny Vandermeer, coming off his no-hitter at Toronto, held the Royals hitless for 5 2/3 innings tonight. Ground ball to Loney. He'll make a full turn, hang it to Kershaw, who just does beat Johnson to the bag. One away, and Gerardo Parra coming up. In that potential no-hitter, they got into the 6th inning with 2 out, and Melky Cabrera broke it up with a triple, but Verlander got his win, 3-1, allowing 2 hits over 8 innings. To refresh your memory, as Parra checks in, hitting .276, Johnny Vandermeer had back-to-back no-hitters in his first full season for the Cincinnati Reds, way back in 1938. The first one was against the Boston Braves in Cincinnati. The pitch is low, ball 1. That was June the 11th. And then on the 15th of June, his second no-hitter was at Ebbets Field in the first night game ever in the borough of Churches. The 1-0 pitch fouled away. In 1952, after his big league career had ended, Johnny threw a no-hitter for Tulsa for good measure in the Texas League. I know, I'm not sure if he made the last out in the no-hitter in Brooklyn. Leo DeRocher, I believe, was involved in one of the 3 outs in Vandermeer's no-hitter. Lazy fly ball to Jerry Sands in left field. And just like that, 2 down in the second inning. And the batter will be Henry Blanco.
Catcher, number 12, Henry Blanco.
Henry Blanco hitting .235, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. always look at Henry and think he must have shoulder pads underneath that shirt. I mean, he really looks like a football player. He's a veteran catcher. At one time, Henry was with the Dodgers. Good man, and a very good man to have if you have a young catcher around. Wonderful teacher. Pulls one down the left field line, foul. And Henry comes back. Henry was originally signed by the Dodgers 21 years ago. Signed him out of high school in Venezuela. He made the usual stops: Vero Beach, San Antonio, Albuquerque. Made it for the cup of coffee with the Dodgers in '97. Henry takes at the chin, 1 ball and 1 strike. Henry will be 40 years old the end of August, playing the most demanding position on the field. The 1-1 pitch. Blanco takes off speed high, ball 2, 2-1. Henry's bounced around Dodgers, Rockies, Brewers, Braves, Twins, Cubs, Padres, Mets, Diamondbacks. The 2-1 pitch off the plate, ball 3, 3-1. They think so highly of Henry that he has an option for 2012 with Arizona. Pops one in the air, foul. Here comes Rod Barajas racing back, makes the catch. So a nice play by Rod Barajas to retire the veteran Henry Blanco. Down go the D-backs, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score. Kershaw making only 12 pitches in the second inning. No score in the ball game. In the bottom of the second, Matt Kemp, Juan Uribe, and James Loney in that order. Matt Kemp is certainly having a better start to this year than the second half of last year. You may remember the second half of last year, Matt hit only .233. Well, as he walks up to the plate now in the game number 38, hitting .338. So Matt with 7 home runs, 24 runs batted in, trying to get the Dodgers started here in the second inning. Saunders ready. Joe delivers and flips it low. 1 ball and no strikes. The Diamondbacks have lost 4 in a row, so they're trying to get well here tonight. Saunders comes back 1-0 and misses away. 2-0 the count. Saunders basically all about control and location. Has a great changeup. 2-0 pitch on the way, swung on, grounded to short. Drew is up with it, gets it across to first in time for the out, and we have one away here in the second inning. And the batter will be Juan Uribe.
Batting next for the Dodgers, third baseman
Uribe looking for his first hit against Saunders. He's 0 for 8. Juan Uribe checking in, 1 out, bases empty, hitting .210, 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Saunders into the windup. Joe delivers fastball strike, and they count 0-1. Nice story about the Saunders. Joe and his fiancee Chanel. They were married at the Orange County Courthouse in Santa Ana. The best man was Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. And what Mike did, he filmed the tiny ceremony with a camera borrowed from the Angels video department. However, that wasn't enough. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on, little ground ball to third. Moore is on it. That'll take care of Uribe, 2 down. And the batter now will be James Loney. Anyway, Joe and
now batting first baseman
Chanel
7,
had
James
always
Loney.
dreamt of a dream wedding in Thailand. But Chanel, a Canadian citizen, so an immigration lawyer warned, you go to Thailand, you might not be allowed back into the United States unless the couple first got married. So they were married in Santa Ana, and then in November they enjoyed that dream wedding ceremony in Thailand. So every now and then dreams come true, and the Saunders share one. Joe working now on Loney, and James takes down and away, ball 1. Loney against the left-hander is hitting .400. He is 6 for 15. Struggling at .226, but is on the rise. Hits one foul down the left field line in the lower deck. 1 ball and 1 strike to James Loney. James, 1 home run, 12 runs batted in. Joe looks down, getting a sign. Now Saunders ready, and the 1-1 pitch. Loney hits a little ground ball up along first. Picked up there and fed to Saunders coming over, and that's that. Loney reacted very slowly at the plate, almost as if the ball had hit him on the foot, but it didn't. So down go the Dodgers, and at the end of 2, no score, 3rd inning, Dodgers in Arizona. Joe Saunders will start it off. Joe has 3 hits and a run batted in this year. What makes him impressive, he's made contact. He's had 13 at bats and has only struck out twice. Left-hand batter, and takes a pitch low, ball 1, 1-0. If you wonder about Joe Saunders, who came from the Angels to Arizona, that was the deal that sent Dan Herron to the Angels. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Joe holds up and the pitch is high, ball 2. Arizona sending Herron to the Angels. Got Sanders. They also got Rafael Rodriguez, Pat Corbin, and a player to be named later. 2-0, and that's low. So Kershaw 3-0 to the opposing pitcher, who, if nothing else, is looking for his first walk of the year. Clayton looks in, gets a sign. Now the 3-0 pitch on the way. Fastball very high. So Saunders walks, opening up the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Kershaw. A reminder, Tuesday, 7:10, Dodgers and Brewers. You can take home your very own Clayton Kershaw bobblehead, courtesy of Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions or call 866-DODGERS. Runner at first, nobody out. Chris Young got a pop fly double down the right field line in the 1st inning. Got as far as 3rd. So the fleet-footed center fielder hitting .220. Kershaw ready, fires a fastball that picks up the outside corner for a strike. And the count to Chris, 0-1. Chris Young is first in the National League in home runs off left-handed pitchers. 4 of his 8 hitting against left-handers. He's also first in home runs at home, 7 of the 8 over in Arizona. Strike 1 pitch, swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. For Chris Young, basically a fly ball hitter. Chances are almost 3-1. If he hits the ball, he hits it in the air. 0-2 the count. The strike 2 pitch to Chris is popped in the air, back at first. Loney can't get it. Here comes Miles. He can't get it. That's going to drop for a base hit. And the Diamondbacks have runners at first and second on a walk and a pop fly single. So the 2 doubles in the 1st inning were pop flies. And now the pop fly that drops in behind Loney, who really was out of the play. There was no way that James could turn and catch it. Miles, playing against a right-hand hitter, just could not quite get there. He had a long way to go. So 1st and 2nd, nobody out, with Mora, Nady, and Drew. So for Aaron Miles, hustling, collided with Loney early in the 1st inning, diving at the pop fly that he couldn't get here in the 3rd. So now with Mora up there, the Dodgers think he might bunt. They pull up the corners, and Mora waiting. Kershaw is ready and Mora is not. He backs out. Mora, I think, was not quite sure of the sign. Mora has not sacrificed this year. Kershaw out of a stretch, looks at the runners. Mora is swinging, instead takes high, ball 1. So he was not around as if to bunt, but he checks again with Matt Williams, who has moved over. Matty was the first base coach for a while, now the third base coach. And EY, Eric Young, first base coach for the D-backs. Good to see him back. The 1-0 pitch, and Mora golfs one. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. It's in the dirt for a strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Diamondbacks are driving Kirk Gibson to distraction. Now they have 1st and 2nd. Nobody out. And Gibby chewing on the gum, waiting for the father of quintuplets. That's right. Melvin Mora has quintuplets, 3 girls and 2 boys. Kershaw out of a stretch, and the 1-1 pitch is low. Ball 2, 2-1. Melvin Mora now on a 2-1 count. Again looks at Williams. Those 5 babies were born 3 months prematurely in 2001. So they'll be coming up 10 years old. And they say that he has a stroller with 5 separate seats. The next one in for a strike. So Melvin Mora out of Venezuela with a 2-2 count. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Top of the 3rd, no score. Melvin, the 6th oldest in the family of 10 children. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up to the right-hand hitter. Mora fouls it back, hitting .292 with 9 runs batted in. Mora's been around a long time, originally signed by the Astros 20 years ago. Finally worked his way up to the Mets. Took him almost 9 years to get to the big leagues. 2-2 the count to Melvin Mora. Kershaw delivers. Curveball got him looking. So Mora, with a pained look on his face, turned and walked away. Curveball on the outside corner. 3rd strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. Mora, I think, thought it was high, maybe off the plate. But instead, Ted Barrett rings him up. So Mora called out. And the batter now, Xavier Nady. Melvin, the veteran, has been through it all, so he quietly goes back to the dugout, holding his bat and his helmet. So here's Nady, right-hand hitter, and the first pitch to Xavier, fastball in there for a strike. So after seeing Mora rung up on the curve, Nady walks up on the first pitch, fastball strike. 0-1 to count to Xavier. Veteran out of Carmel, where he was born, takes up around the chin, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nady lives in, is it Salinas or Salinas? Salinas, okay. Salinas, that is the lettuce capital of the world. Let us see what he will do. Runners at first and second, 1 out. No score, 3rd inning. Kershaw's fastball very high. 2-1 to count. Kershaw laboring, did retire the side in the 2nd inning, but opened up the 3rd by walking the pitcher. Then he got a bad break on Young's pop fly single. 2-1 to count to Xavier Nady. The 2-1 pitch, very high, almost over his head, ball 3. Nady went to the University of California, Berkeley. His dad played at Boston College and the University of Colorado. In fact, Xavier's father is a college football referee when he's not practicing law in Salinas. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Xavier Nady. Kershaw deals very high. He's not just missing. Those fastballs are over the hitter's head. 2nd walk in the inning. So Saunders goes to 3rd, Young at 2nd, Nady at 1st, and the one guy who A is hitting well on the road and B hitting well with runners in scoring position, Stephen Drew, coming up. Came up with 2nd and 3rd in the 1st inning and struck out. Now he's up there with the bases loaded, 1 out. He has 1 grand slam in his young career, hitting .224. So JD's kid brother Steven checks in at the plate, left-hand batter. Kershaw delivers, swung on and missed, fastball up and in. That grand slam that he has occurred this year, the end of April, against the Cubs. 0-1 to Stephen Drew. At 3rd base, Saunders, at 2nd, Young, and at 1st, Nady. With 1 out, no score. Kershaw ready. Fastball swung on and missed. 0-2. Clayton hits 95, and that's one of the rare fastballs that he got down around the knees. And he was throwing hard. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, bases loaded, no score. On deck, Justin Upton. Kershaw ready. Here he comes. High and away. Ball 1. Another fastball. 1-2 the count. Stephen Drew facing Clayton Kershaw with the bases loaded. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Foul back. A couple of years ago, Stephen Drew, the 2008 season, became only the third shortstop in history to have at least 40 doubles, 10 triples, and 20 home runs. Who were the other two? Robin Yount and Nomar Garcia-Parra. Not a bad crowd to hang around with. Drew, 28 years old, went to school at Florida State like his older brother. Now the 1-2 pitch coming up. Kershaw ready and delivers, swung on and missed. So Stephen Drew struck out with runners at second and third in the first inning and strikes out with the bases loaded in the third. Here's the pitch by pitch. Started him fastball. Remember, he struck him out on a curve, came right back with another, 3 fastballs in a row, and yet another, and finally got him on the breaking ball. So that's twice Drew has gone down on a pitch low, the first one in the dirt. So a big strikeout. Kershaw now has 4. Kirk Gibson, I'm sure, is about ready to eat his hat. And here's Justin Upton, who takes a strike. Upton, a soft line drive in the first inning to Aaron Miles. Justin hit a slam against the Dodgers 2 years ago when Randy Wolf was pitching here. Strike 1 pitch, and Upton takes very high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded, 2 out. They had the bases loaded with 1 out. No score. 1-1 to Upton. Kershaw trying to wiggle out of a second jam, and his 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, a high fly ball, but very playable. Jerry Sands is out there in left field, and one-hands it for the out. That's pretty cool, huh? Giving up in the big leagues a couple of weeks. Gibson has been driven to drink. Where's the water bottle? And at the end of 2.5 innings, no score. There are 2 very frustrated men among many in the Arizona dugout. One certainly would be Kirk Gibson, another Alan Trammell, who is with him right now, and a few moments ago Matt Williams sat alongside of him. They're all frustrated, and of course all 3 were great players in the clutch. And here they are as Matt chews on sunflower seeds, and see the young Diamondbacks, second and third, nobody out. First inning, failed to score. Bases loaded, 1 out in the third, and failed to score. So they've left 5. They have struck out 4 times already. Stephen Drew, who is hitting cleanup, has been unable to do anything but strike out twice. So he's off to a bad night. And in the bottom of the third inning, the Dodgers trying to cash all that in with Barajas, Sands, and Kershaw. Saunders deals, and the first pitch is a high fly ball to left field. Drew goes out, Parra comes in, and it's Parra. And just like that, one pitch and one away. Introducing the Dodgers' ultimate giveaway plan. 8 games, 10 giveaways, including all 6 bobbleheads, Dodgers sports bag, beach towel, Fernando fleece, and popular purple and gold LA cap, starting at $12 a seat. For more information, call 323-224-1365 or go to Dodgers.com/mini-plans. Here's Jerry Sands, and he has a look at a breaking ball strike. I couldn't help but thinking in the top of the third inning, bases loaded, 2 out, and Upton hit that towering fly ball to left field. And here's Sands up a couple of weeks, just casually one-handing the fly ball. And it brought back memories of talking to Willie Davis, one of the first games he had ever played for the Dodgers. Similar situation. And I said, how could you be so casual? Sands fouls it away. And Willie summed it up. It's not my wife. It's not my life. So why worry? Well, if Jerry Sands has that kind of philosophy, he'll have a long and very successful career. 1-2 the count to Jerry. Here comes Saunders working high and inside. 2-2. Jerry hitting .212. Interestingly, has 7 doubles. Half of his hits extra bases. The 2-2 pitch foul back. And although we haven't seen every game that he's played, most of those doubles have gone to right and right center. Of course, when he came to the Dodgers, they said his power is to right center field. 2-2. Saunders delivers low. Ball 3. 3-2. 1 out, third inning. No score. Joe head down, thinking over his pitches. Now lifts his head, looks in, and here he comes. 3-2, and it's fouled away. Sands might have gone after ball 4. It looked like he lunged across the plate. But of course, with 2 strikes on him, he couldn't be too careful. 3-2 to Jerry. And with 1 out, Sanders ready and delivers, and it's a slicing foul out of play. Well, still 3-2. Joe was originally selected by the Phillies after a fine career in high school, but that's when he opted to go to Virginia Tech. And what a smart move. The pitch is low for ball 4. So the Dodgers get their second base runner. Shows you what happens. In 1999, the Phillies want him in the 5th round. He goes to college. 2 years later, he's drafted in the 1st round. You know what that meant? Well, first round money is usually very, very high. And for Joe, it meant $1.8 million compared to 5th round, which isn't in that neighborhood at all. So here's Kershaw. Throw to first, however. Sands back on the bag. Joe Saunders has picked off a couple, and both men were then caught stealing, so he has a pretty good move to first. They're looking bunt, charging the plate. The bunt is down. Covering at second base and coming to first is Kelly Johnson to handle. Boy, they really turned Xavier Navy loose. The first baseman charging the plate, and Kershaw got a good bunt down to the third baseman. So the sacrifice works. Runner at second with 2 out. For Clayton Kershaw to do his job, that would be his second sacrifice. John Garland has 4. So 2 out, a runner at second, and here's Jamie Carroll, who singled to center in the first inning. Jamie hitting .313. Saunders looks back at second, works the plate, and drops it in there for a strike. 0-1. Jamie in and out of the box. In the month of May, he's hitting .342. So he's trying to pick up Jerry Sands from second. 2 out. Strike 1 pitch on the way. A look, and that's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamie has not only played very well defensively, he's reached base safely 29 of his 36 games. So he has been actively engaged. 1-1. Saunders at the belt. Joe comes back. Fastball sliced down the right field line. Foul. Back into the stands. And the count 1-2. Tomorrow, that'll be a 4 o'clock game here. The Dodgers and the D-backs. Josh Comenter and Chad Billingsley. Then Sunday at 1:10, Ian Kennedy and Ted Lilly. There is Josh Comenter. This will be his first major league start. 1-2 the count to Jamie Carroll. No score. Breaking ball in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Henry Blanco. And the count 2-2. So Joe Saunders, who knows what it's like to win. He was a 17-game winner 3 years ago for the Angels. Basically, a sinking fastball, curve, change, slider, and he added a cutter. 2-2 pitch. And the breaking ball is low, ball 3. Waiting on deck, Aaron Miles. Jerry Sands at second with 2 out, 3-2 to Carroll. No score, bottom of the 3rd. Saunders looks in. Now Joe at the belt. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Fastball grounded to Stephen Drew, the shortstop, and that'll be that. So the Dodgers leave Sands at the end of 3, no score. Started right out in the first inning with back-to-back doubles, runners at second and third. Xavier Navy went after a pitch in the dirt. So did Stephen Drew. Justin Upton, a fly ball, a little too for Aaron Miles. In the 3rd inning, more trouble. Bases loaded, 1 out, and on the outside corner to Melvin Mora. And then Stephen Drew strikes out, and a fly ball by Justin Upton. So for Kershaw, he's made 56 pitches. That would be 20 more in the 3 innings than Joe Saunders. And the first pitch, ball 1 to Kelly Johnson. One and 1 to count. Johnson grounded out to Loney in the 2nd inning. Kelly hitting 187. Good breaking ball, late breaking ball too. Johnson had given up on the pitch thinking it was inside, and at the last moment it got the plate. Awkward swing on the breaking ball. A little while ago we were talking about Johnny Vandermeer's second no-hitter, and I mentioned the fact I think Leo DeRocher made one of the last 3 outs in that game. Well, we do know that Leo batted 8th and went 0 for 4. 1-2. Foul ball. And the next year, 1939, Leo the Lion, Leo the Lip would begin his managerial career with Brooklyn. Interesting on Vandermeer's second no-hitter, by the way, he walked 8. Kyler, Camilli, and Lavagetto, between them, or among them, walked 7. And another foul ball. We showed you the instances of Kershaw bearing down in the clutch. In his career, the Diamondbacks are 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position against him, striking out 4 times. In his career, opponents with runners in scoring position are hitting .202 against him. And with 2 out and runners in scoring position, the opposition is now hitting .159 against Kershaw. Fastball fouled off. That was a 95-mile-an-hour express. So 2-2 the count. The only danger for Kershaw is it's early in the pitch count is piling up. 64 pitches. Here's number 65. Ground ball to Miles. One out, 4th inning. And Gerardo Parra, and there you can see the count now is up to 66. Gerardo Parra flied to left field in the 2nd inning. Parra hit .261 last year, hitting .273 right now. He's from the Dominican. Oh, and 1. By the way, in talking about the fact that Gerardo Parra is from the Dominican, it seems like so many players now in the big leagues are from the Dominican Republic. Though they did a little compilation. Fouled away. At the start of the year, there were 234 of the players on opening day. That means active rosters, disabled list, and restricted list. 234 were born outside of the United States. Down he goes. And of the 234, 86, just about a third, were from the Dominican Republic, in case you wondered, and 62 from Venezuela. So as Parra goes back empty-handed, 5 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw, and the batter is Henry Blanco. And ball 1. No runs, 3 hits for the D-backs. They have squandered 2 big opportunities while striking out 5 and leaving 5. That's a strike. That's a good off-speed pitch. 1-1. 71 pitches according to the pitch count on the board out in left field. I think Henry was thinking he was swinging at a fastball at 95, and the pitch came up there at 84. So he was way out in front of it. 1-2. check swing. Swing, says Brian Runge. That'll do it for Blanco. 6 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw at the end of 3.5 innings. No score. Moco. Try our delicious Baja-style fish tacos with classic Baja or spicy avocado sauce, only at El Pollo Loco. By Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Corona. Bottom of the 4th inning, no score in the ball game. 17 pitches in that inning for Clayton Kershaw. So that jumps his pitch count now up to 73. No score in the 4th. And the Dodgers will have Miles, Ethier, and Kemp against Joe Saunders. By the way, we were talking about the 86 Dominican players of the 234 born outside of the country. The very first Dominican player was an infielder named Ozzie Virgil. And that was 1956. And Ozzie came up to the New York Giants. Strike to Miles, who fouled out in the first inning. 0-1, Darren. Hitting .275. Another strike. You might think, well, little Miles running into James Loney, etc. Miles is built like the proverbial brick house. I mean, he is really hard. I doubt he has very much body fat at all. Very, very muscular. 1-2, Darren. No runs, 3 hits for the D-backs. No runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. Saunders 0-4 for the year. So a couple of streaks are on the line. Kershaw has beaten Arizona 3 straight. Saunders trying to get a win for the first time, losing 4 straight. 2-2. Off the plate. Joe has struggled within the Western Division. He is 3-6 against the West in his career. He does get double plays. He had a game against the Giants. 5 grounded into double plays. Chopper to third. Morris stays with it and gets him on a good stretch by Nady. So Miles taps out. And the battle will be Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier looped into that double play in the first inning. And a strike, 0-1. That 30-game streak was really impressive. You realize Andre hit 397 during the streak. 13 extra base hits. 0-2. He had 11 multi-hit games, and he didn't let the streak go to his head at all, because with runners in scoring position, he hit .448. Squirted and foul. One other note about Andre Ethier here at Dodger Stadium in his young career against Arizona. And of course, he's from over in the Phoenix area. Went to school over there. Well, here in Los Angeles, he came into this game hitting .424 against Arizona over a 34-game stretch with 15 extra base hits and 16 multi-hit games. But not now. So down he goes, and the batter will be Matt Kemp.
Coming to the plate, center fielder, number 27.
In direct contrast to Clayton Kershaw, he has 6 strikeouts. For Joe Saunders, that's his first. And now Matt Kemp grounded to short in the second inning. No score, 4th inning. D-backs no runs, 3 hits. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. And ball 1. Matt, .336 batting average, 7 home runs, 24 runs batted in. 2-0 they count. Kemp with a home run against Saunders in the past, but only 3 for 15. 3-0. I'm sure the battle cry around the league, if it hasn't started yet, and it probably has, don't let Ethier or Kemp beat you. Now, they might green light Matt 3-0 as Ethier looks on. Yeah, that wasn't too hard to figure out. 3-1. Well, they let him swing 3-0. On deck, Juan Uribe, but he's only hitting about 200. And so they're not going to give him a pitch. Why would you? So with 2 out, Kemp walks. I was a little surprised that Saunders would get a pitch over the plate. 3-0.
Number 5, Juan Uribe.
Uribe grounded out. He's 0 for 1. He is 0 for 9 against Saunders. Dodgers have won 4 of 5 against left-handers at home, 7 out of 10 all told. They have to worry about Kemp now. Sure, so they go over there. Matt Kemp has stolen 12 out of 15. Arizona doesn't run well at all. They've stolen, well, they have, but they've been caught 12 times. Two out, no score, 4th inning. Fouled away. 0-1. Remember tomorrow, a 4 o'clock game. Josh Colmenter and Chad Billingsley. Then Sunday afternoon, Ian Kennedy and Ted Lilly. Kennedy, a local boy who's been pitching very, very well. 0-2. Ian Kennedy, who will pitch Sunday, born in Huntington Beach, lives in Huntington Beach. There he is with a grin on his face. Went to school at USC. He was a first-round pick by the Yankees. 1-2. Ian went to La Quinta High School, and there was another Ian on that same team, Ian Stewart, who's now with Colorado. Anyway, we'll see him Sunday. 1-2. Foul back. Saunders dropping the velocity down to 79 on that last pitch to Uribe. Kemp trying to find an opening with 2 out. Told you Joe has picked off a couple already this year. 1-2. Turned him off the plate. 2-2 to Uribe. If you weren't with us, the Diamondbacks on a couple of pop fly doubles had runners at second and third and nobody out in the first inning and failed to score. First and second, nobody out, and bases loaded with 1 out in the third, and Kershaw kept them away. 3-2 with James Loney on deck. So with 2 down, Matt Kemp has to be ready to go, but of course with Saunders moved to first, he has to be a little careful he doesn't make the jump too soon. Fouled away. Matt actually, instead of going his first move, he leaned back towards first base, so Saunders has shown him a pretty good move. No score, 4th inning, 2 out, 3-2 to Uribe. Kemp ready to go from first. Runner goes, fouled away. Uribe grounded to third tonight, 0 for 1. Uribe has struck out 30 times. That would be tied with Barajas, second behind Matt Kemp's 34. But of course, Matt with 7 home runs and 24 runs batted in. 3-2. There goes Kemp. Little fly ball to left field, coming in and over his power, and that'll be that. So no runs, no hits, a man left, and at the end of 4, no score. game. Joe Saunders hitting .231. The pitcher walked in the third inning on 4 pitches. And a strike. Clayton Kershaw with 6 strikeouts. Foul back. 0-2. Diamondbacks striking out. That's certainly not news. And there's strike 3, strikeout number 7. Remember when Mark Reynolds played third base, and those couple of years the Diamondbacks were always leading the league in strikeouts. Right now, let's get you thinking a little bit. We have a trivia question, and here it is. Kirk Gibson is the 6th manager in Diamondbacks history. Who was the first? Give you the answer in a little while. That's a strike. Young hit a pop fly that found its way just inside the right field line by inches for a double, and then singled to right on a collision with Aaron Miles and James Loney. Hook is in there. 0-2. So the old story looks like line drives in the box score. Young is 2 for 2 and has not hit the ball hard at all. 0-2 to Chris. And there they go again, flailing away. 8 strikeouts. So they were telling us that Arizona had changed a little bit, that they were not striking out as much the last couple of years. But of course, with Kershaw throwing curveballs like that, he's going to get a lot of strikeouts. He has 8. Meanwhile, the swinging coach, you can't really call him the hitting coach right now, Don Baylor. You think of the thoughts of Baylor, Matt Williams, Kirk Gibson, Alan Trammell, watching the D-backs strike out and blow scoring opportunities. You can just imagine how they feel. Two and 0. Melvin struck out first and second in the third inning. He has it 3-0 his way. In there. 3-1. Mora hitting .288. No home runs. 9 runs batted in. High chopper to short. Jamie Carroll. So a nice easy inning. That's 8 in a row retired by Clayton Kershaw to match his 8 strikeouts, but no score. Dodger Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grill Sandwich at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers. Visit us today and trade up to Ford. Bottom of the fifth inning, no score in the ball game. No runs, 3 hits for the Diamondbacks. No runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. Jamie Carroll single in the very first inning leading off. So Loney, Barajas, and Sands here in the bottom half. On the corner, 0-1. Loney grounded to Xavier Nady in the second inning. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Kelly Johnson to get him. Nice play. 1 away. Well, remember the trivia question? It had to do with the Diamondbacks and the fact that Kirk Gibson is their 6th manager. Who was the first? Remember? Yeah, Buck Showalter. You may or may not remember when Showalter became the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he's one of those fellas who manages every single detail. When Buck took over, he put in the path that you never see in Major League ballparks, the path from home plate to the mound. That was his first signature effort. Here's Rod Barajas. Ball 1. And Buck, who's with Baltimore now, and I think doing a good job over there. Barajas, fly ball in the third inning. 1-1. So Joe Saunders holding the Dodgers to a single. No score in the ball game. Looking at Saunders' work last year, left and right hitters. Right-handers hit .301 with 20 home runs. Hello, high fly ball. Yep, good time to dig out that note. Rod hits his 7th home run of the year, his 14th run batted in. Fastball, and he hit a towering fly ball. Saunders hoping it was catchable, but it was not. So 1-0 Dodgers, and the batter now Jerry Sands. Ball 1. Who would have thunk it, huh? Barajas tied with Matt Kemp for a home run. 2-0. Big Rod, the dandy from Del Mar now. Fouled away, upstairs off to the right. Two and one to Jerry. He walked in the third inning. Ground ball to Stephen Drew. 2 down here in the 5th inning, and Clayton Kershaw coming up.
Pitcher number 22, Clayton Kershaw.
Kershaw sacrificed in the 3rd inning. Clayton was grinning at something Ted Barrett, the plate umpire, said. Right. Both pitchers are handy with the bat. Saunders hitting .231, Kershaw hitting .235. Saunders 3 hits and a run batted in. Kershaw 4 hits, no RBIs. 1-2. Dodgers lead 1-0 on the home run by Rod Barajas. Little ground ball to Melvin Mora. So the Dodgers get one on one swing. The home run by Barajas. And at the end of 5, 1-0 Dodgers. The folks here at Dodger Stadium would boo Barry Bonds. It was nothing compared to the people at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn when Sal Maglie was pitching for the Giants. I mean, they hated him. They called him the barber because he liked to throw up and in to the hitters and give them a close shave. Well, anyway, on this day in 1956, miracle upon miracle, or whatever the reverse is, the Dodgers acquired Sal Maglie, and darned if he didn't pitch a no-hitter for the Dodgers that year against the Phillies. Let's go back to this one. There's one other thing about Sal Maglie. It might be the answer to a trivia question. The question would be, who was the losing pitcher when Don Larson pitched his perfect game against the Dodgers in the 1956 World Series? And the answer, Sal Maglie. Xavier Nady struck out and walked 0 for 1, hitting .260. And that's a strike. Kershaw with 8 strikeouts. And a little comebacker. One away. So one out in the 6th. And Stephen Drew coming up for a highly talented, well-playing shortstop. It's been a nightmare of a game for Stephen Drew. 2nd and 3rd, and one out in the 1st inning. Struck out on a pitch in the dirt, curveball. In the 3rd inning, 1st and 2nd, and one out. In fact, actually the bases were loaded in the 3rd, and he struck out again on a pitch down. 0-1 to Stephen. Solid player, hitting .277, 2 home runs, 25 runs batted in. and 2. Kershaw, you may remember, 2 years ago struck out 13. That's his career high. 13 Giants. Big curveball, but inside. Pitch count beginning to pile up a little bit. 90 pitches we have. Fastball just missed a 94. 2-2. popped up. Kershaw should be directing travel, and it's going to be the third baseman, Juan Uribe. I think Clayton Howlett Barajas off the play. Much easier for Uribe. So Drew 0 for 3, and the batter will be Justin Upton. Upton, soft line drive to Aaron Miles and fly to left. Strike, 0-1. When Justin Upton was coming out of high school, that would be really 2 years ago, he caught everybody's attention. 0-2. Baseball America rated him as the best athlete, best five-tool talent, best pure hitter, fastest base runner, best defensive player, and closest to the major league. And he made his debut for Arizona at 19. 1-2. He's from Norfolk, Virginia, lives in Chesapeake, Virginia. His brother BJ, a first-round pick, as he was. His dad was a baseball and football star at Norfolk State, and he's a referee in basketball games. 1-2. So 4 of the very, very talented brothers in the big leagues. 2 of them are here, Justin and Stephen Drew, and then BJ and JD over in the American League. 1-2. Oh boy, welcome to the big leagues. 9 strikeouts, and Uncle Charlie, the curveball, got Upton. And at the end of 5.5, 1-0 Dodgers. Putting the freeze cam on Rod Barajas, and you look at the location of the pitch, just above the knees out over the plate, and Rod drives it out to time with Matt Kemp at 7 home runs apiece. The majority of Dodger home runs so far this year have been with the bases empty. 17 of the 27. So they're not getting much out of the long ball. And a strike to Jamie Carroll. With all of their problems, remember, losing Furcal, losing Casey Blake, losing Jonathan Broxton, losing Hung Chi Kuo. And nevertheless, if the Dodgers should hang on and win this game tonight, Mattingly's ball club will be 2.5 games back of the Giants. 1-1. Stan Conti, the trainer, talking to Casey Blake, who's done a little soft tossing, has done a little fielding of ground balls, and he sees a base hit to right field, opening up matters here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Jamie Carroll is 2 for 3 in the leadoff role. Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits. Arizona no runs, 3 hits. Here's Miles, who fouled out and grounded out. Always a threat to bunt, especially in this kind of a game. There goes the runner. They play hit and run, and it's a little flare into right field for a base hit. All the way to third goes Carroll. Perfectly executed by Aaron Miles. So Mattingly puts it on, and the little second baseman hits the back of the runner and flares it into right field. First and third, nobody out. And the batter, Andre Ethier. The Arizona bullpen has done a pretty good job this year. Saunders is due to bat 4th when the D-backs hit in the 7th inning. No one throwing for the moment in the bullpen. And a one-hopper, no, line drive. Backhanded for the out. I think if Kelly Johnson could have had that play over again, he's got to be thinking, if I don't catch it, if I short hop it, I've got the easiest double play, and there's not a chance for Carroll to move off third. Look at this, right there, but he could easily have trapped it for a DP. All right, he didn't, so 1 out, and Matt Kemp coming up. Matt grounded out and walked, 0 for 1. One thing for Saunders, we just bring it up for you to keep in mind. Joe Saunders, in a game against the Giants, had 5 ground ball double plays. So that's what the D-backs are looking for right now with Matt Kemp. 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2. Comparing Joe Saunders last year to this year, one of the big differences was the fact he is not getting the ground balls as often as he did in the past in this kind of a situation. Fly balls are up about 16% against him. 0-2. He got that 5 double play game in the middle of April against the Giants. Since 2008, Saunders ranks 2nd among all pitchers with 86 grounded into double plays. Mark Burley has 87. Breaking ball lifted to right center and deep. Young to the track at the wall, leaps up. It's going to be off the wall. Backed up by Upton. 1 run will score. There are runners at 2nd and 3rd, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. So Saunders, who used to get a lot of ground balls in that spot, this year giving up long fly balls. And this time it's a double high off the wall in right center. Matt, so powerful. Wow. So Kemp doubles in Carroll. Miles goes to third, and the batter will be Juan Uribe with runners at second and third. First base open, and the left-hand hitter James Loney coming up. But it is interesting, even though Kirk Gibson wants left-hander to left-hander, coming into the game, Loney was 6 for 15 against Saunders, a .400 batting average. Granted, Loney is 0 for 2 tonight. So in a moment, James will be coming up with the bases loaded, 1 out, a run in, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Loney has 1 grand slam in his career. That was 5 years ago in Colorado.
James Loney.
So Saunders has given up 5 hits, walked 3, and 2 runs. And there's James' numbers. So he has Miles at third, Kemp at second, and Uribe at first. 1 out, infield and double play depth. Fouled away. 0-1. James hitting .223. Dodgers lead 2-0 here in the 6th. Aaron Heilman, the right-hander, a veteran, up now in the Arizona bullpen. And a fly ball to straightaway, but somewhat shallow center. Young for the catch. They will hold the runner. It was not a long throw. Well, the bases remain loaded, and Rod Barajas will be coming up.
Number 28, Rod Barajas.
Barajas flied to left and homered. Remember, we saw that pitch on the freeze cam, just about at the knees, maybe a little above and out over the plate. Well, Miles, Kemp, and Uribe all out there with 2 down. Dodgers lead the D-backs 2-0. And a strike. Rod has 4 grand slams in his career. Last one he hit was 2 years ago against Tampa Bay. 0-1. And slicing fly ball down the right field line and going foul. With 2 out, that would have scored everybody. There was no chance for Justin Upton to get there. With a right-hand hitter like Barajas, Upton playing way over in right center. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. That might remind Saunders of what happened with Matt Kemp on a no-ball 2-strike count. Kemp doubled, almost hit a home run off the top of the right center field wall. Well, let's see 0-2 this time. For the home run tonight, Joe Saunders has allowed 7 home runs. Well, he wasn't going to be down around the knees with that pitch. 1-2. Joe, 30 years old, the middle of June. The home run by Rod tonight was the 6th home run allowed by Saunders to right-hand batters. 1-2. 2-2. Though the deuce is a while, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2-0 Dodgers. Below, and Rod went after it. So the Dodgers huff and puff and score 1 and lead 2-0. Chase deposit checks from your smartphone with Quick Deposit. Take a step forward and chase what matters. And by Time Warner Cable. 7th inning with the Dodgers leading 2-0 and a strike to Kelly Johnson. Clayton Kershaw with 9 strikeouts. Matt Kemp has homered. Had that double that looked like it might be a home run. Barajas homered, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. And that should be the 100th pitch made by Clayton Kershaw. Kelly grounded to first, grounded to second, 0 for 2. Struggling at 185. Ten strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. 1 away. So be sure to bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Sunday. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. First 15,000 kids 14 and under in attendance receive a James Loney batting practice jersey. Compliments of Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream. For tickets, call 866-DODGERS. Go to Dodgers.com/promotions. James deep in thought now as Gerardo Parra checks in. And a fly ball to left. Gary Sands takes care of that. Quickly 2 out.
Catcher, number 12, Henry Blanco.
That's 13 in a row retired by Kershaw after making 102 pitches. And the batter will be Henry Blanco. Blanco is fouled out and struck out. They will go to the bench if given the opportunity. Josh Wilson, right-hand hitter, is out on deck to bat for Joe Saunders. Ball one. So Henry 0 for 2. That's a strike. Good fastball at 93. One and one. Oh, dropped that in nicely. 1 and 2. Kershaw due to bat second when the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 7th, so he even throws the off-speed pitch for a strike. And that big down and dirty curveball, and that's 11 strikeouts and 14 in a row. At the end of 6.5, it remains 2-0 Dodgers. And the crowd now will sing God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Join the singing of God Bless America.
Performed tonight by talented singer and songwriter. Please welcome back Michael Johns.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Michael Johns.
Clayton Kershaw has made 106 pitches. He has struck out 11 and he's retired the last 14 in a row as Jerry Sands hits a fly ball and Justin Upton is at the other end of it. One away. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Matt Guerrier warming up, and Russ Mitchell will now come up and bat for Kershaw.
Number 46, Russell Mitchell.
So a tremendous effort by Clayton Kershaw. 106 pitches, 11 strikeouts, retiring the last 14 in a row. Oh, and 1 to Russ. Mitchell has only had 6 at bats, 0 for 6. Final score, the Rockies pounded the Padres 12-7. Troy Tulowitzki hit his 10th home run. Little ground ball to Melvin Mora. 2 down in the 7th inning.
Dodger shortstop, number 14, Jamie Carroll.
Cameron Maybin for San Diego hit 2 home runs in a losing cause. So the Rockies beat the Padres. Jamie Carroll is 2 for 3. You know, we were talking earlier about Johnny Vandermeer's second no-hitter against Brooklyn. And we knew that DeRocha was 0 for 4 in that game. And I mentioned, and it's not that I remember the game, I must have read about it. And I thought that maybe Leo DeRocha made the last out in the no-hitter. Well, they checked, and the computer said yes, Leo DeRocha made the last out, a fly ball to center field with the bases loaded. How good was Johnny Vandermeer? Well, 3 weeks later, and he was just a kid, he started the All-Star game at Crosley Field. He went 3 shutout innings. And on the American League Club, there were people like Charlie Gehringer, Earl Averill, Jimmy Fox, Joe DiMaggio, Bill Dickey, Luke Gehrig. He shut him down. Joe Saunders certainly pitching his last inning. He's due to lead off in the 8th inning. 3-1. And a strike. 3-2. Dodgers scored in the 5th on the home run by Barajas, and in the 6th on that long double off the top of the wall by Matt Kemp. So Jamie Carroll in his leadoff role gets to first base 3 of his 4 at bats. The hitter will be Aaron Miles. And a reminder, take the Dodgers with you wherever you go this year. Subscribe to MLB.tv today. See every Dodger game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Aaron Miles fouled out, grounded out, and on a hit and run play, looped a single to right field. Ball 1. Two runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 3 hits for the D-backs. Carroll at first, 2 away. Time. Saunders has made 104 pitches right now. Going into the game, Joe must have thought maybe I'll get a little luck on those 2 pop fly doubles in the first inning. And also the fact that the D-backs loaded the bases with 1 out in the 3rd. But the D-backs each time came up empty. And here he is, no wins, 4 losses, and Stephen Drew probably thinking it's all his fault, which it wasn't. Ball 2. That was a nice pick by Henry Blanco on a fastball in the dirt. 2-0 the count to Aaron Miles. Carroll at first, 2 out, 2-0 Dodgers. Ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Drew to second, but there's nobody at the bag, and it goes down the line. They are going to wave in Carroll. The throw, not in time, not in time at third, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Stephen Drew made a heck of a play. I'm not quite sure where Kelly Johnson was. If we can take a look at the tape, see what happens to Kelly. There's the great stop and throw, but there's nobody at the bag. Kelly Johnson was a good 6 or 8 feet away. Well, here comes Carroll to score. We're waiting for the official scoring rule. So Stephen Drew talking to Kelly Johnson right now after making a wonderful backhand short hop on the play. They're going to go to the bullpen. Joe Saunders, 0-4, goes out. A frustrating night for him. Dodgers lead 3-0, and we'll be back. A very frustrated Joe Saunders, scratching his head in dismay over the things that have happened tonight. It's 3-0 now, Dodgers. Joe Patterson working to Ethier for ball 1. Joe is from Oakland, lives in Corvallis, Oregon, went to Oregon State. 25 years old. Big roundhouse curveball for a strike, 1-1. Joe 6'1", 210. At Oregon State, he majored in agriculture. Fastball hit up the middle. Stephen Drew, nice pick. Throw in the dirt off the glove of Nady. Scoring is Miles, and the Dodgers lead 4-0. So twice, Drew has gotten to the ball. Once, he threw to second, and Johnson was not there. This time, the off-balance throw. Nady tries to backhand it, can't do it. It will go as a base hit, and the Dodgers take a 4-0 lead. And for Kirk Gibson, a most frustrating night in every area. The inability of his team to hit with men on, inability to have them make the right play. It's been an anguished and nightmarish evening for Stephen Drew, and we'll be back. Sports charitable initiative during the 2011 MLB season on Prime Ticket, we proudly support Stand Up to Cancer and their work to fund groundbreaking research that helps accelerate treatment to patients. For more information, please call standuptocancer.org/Fox Sports. Esmerling Vasquez from the Dominican, 6'1", maybe 170 pounds. He'll be 28 in November. Signed back in 03 out of the Dominican. Fastball, curve, changeup. Matt Kemp greeting him at the plate. Andre Ethier at first base extends his streak of games where he has reached first base with that single up the middle. 36. Long way to go to catch Sean Green. 53. And another strike. 0-2. Kemp against Vasquez, 0 for 6. Dodgers lead 4-0 in the 7th. The front-running Giants lost. Second place Colorado won. The Colorado and the Giants virtually tied. And the Dodgers would be 2.5 back if they can hold on to this one. 1-2. A little roll, a tough play, an impossible play. So the Dodgers' last 3 hits, a ground ball to the hole backhanded by Stephen Drew, the ground ball up the middle grabbed by Drew, and now the dribbler up along third by Matt Kemp. So Kemp now is a single and a double. Four runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. Kemp and Carroll have 2 apiece. 4-1. Aaron Miles has 2 hits. Uribe 0 for 2 with an intentional walk. Fouled away. 1-1. Uribe hitting .207. 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Matt Guerrier and Kenley Jansen. The way it looks, Guerrier is ready if they need him, and maybe the score will determine who's coming in. 1-1. 2-1. So it's been Saunders, Patterson, and Vasquez. Two on, 2 out. Big pop fly, major league pop fly. Melvin Mora, one-handed, almost ran out from under it. So Uribe pops it up. The Dodgers score 2 and lead 2. Tough game for Stephen Drew, and it's 4-0 Dodgers. 11 and retiring 14 in a row. He had full command of all of his pitches, and of course the Diamondbacks have helped out, going after several breaking balls in the dirt along the way. As we had mentioned, Kershaw's high 13 strikeouts. That was a couple of years ago against San Francisco. And after making 106 pitches, they figure that's enough. So Kershaw comes out. He has a chance now to beat Arizona for the 4th consecutive time. And he goes up against Joe Saunders. He can match their numbers. Joe was not much for striking people out, but he also never got a break offensively or defensively. And now Matt Guerrier will face Juan Miranda to open up matters in the 8th inning. Check swing for a strike, 0-1 the count. Joe Saunders saw Arizona continue its futile hitting on the road with runners in scoring position, and then a couple of somewhat questionable defensive plays that sank his ship. Juan Miranda's from Cuba. He lives in the Dominican Republic. He was among a group of 6 players who were caught by Dominican officials, arrested and jailed. They would have been sent back to Cuba, but former big league pitcher Jose Rio won their freedom. When they were told you might be going back to Cuba, they said they'd rather be shot in the Dominican, because they knew they were going to be punished if they were sent back. And although he did escape, his parents, his brothers and sisters, all his extended family remain in Cuba. He hasn't seen them since 2005. Miranda's birthday is either 1981 or 1983. Juan Miranda is a first baseman outfielder, originally signed by the Yankees. First year with the Diamondbacks. And down he goes. So Guerrier picks up for where Kershaw left off. And a strikeout. Don't forget, tomorrow on Fox, Saturday baseball tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Josh Colmenter and Chad Billingsley. Big Fox tomorrow. So 12 Diamondbacks have struck out tonight. One ball and no strikes. Chris Young, pop fly double, pop fly single, and struck out. One and one. The paid attendance, as announced, 35,506. Whacked into center. So for Young, that would be his 3rd hit. And it'll bring up Melvin Mora.
Coming to the plate, third baseman, Melvin Mora.
Seeing Loney and Young standing side by side might refresh your memory. They were at 2 high schools in Houston, bitter rivals. Young collided with a teammate and broke his arm in the big playoff game. Loney was pitching in that game, and Young got a base hit against him. So there they are together, shoulder to shoulder. What are the odds? 2 high school kids battling, and now in the big leagues. Four nothing Dodgers, 8th inning. Bad ball. 1-1. Reason I'm sure Mora chased that one, I'll bet you still in his mind, was the strike 3 pitch back in the third inning. The curveball, he thought it was off the plate. 1-1. And there goes Young, and a shot foul down the line. So Chris Young was off to the races. He has stolen 2. He's been caught twice. One out in the 8th, 4-0 Dodgers. On deck, Xavier Nady. Slapped in the air down the line. Ethier on the dead run and foul ground, no play. As he disappears. Ethier giving it his best shot. You see that right knee, it hits the base, which is concrete. That's why he's a little slow in getting up. He never quits on those balls, but when you go into that slide, you're going to hit that concrete head on, or knee on anyway. 1-2. Watching Ethier out there, he's been bending that left leg. That hurt more than he let on. Two balls and 2 strikes. Young at first, 1 out in the 8th. Mora with Nady on deck. 2-2. Drive to center. Kemp. 2 out. Young holding at first.
Running next, first baseman.
Bill with 2-away here in the 8th inning. Xavier Nady will be coming up. Nady is struck out, walked, hit back to the box. Chris Young has been very fortunate tonight. Pop fly double to right, pop fly single due to a collision, and then a line drive single to center. These 3 for 4. All of the other Diamondbacks collectively are 1 for 23. That one hit was the double by Mora in the first inning. And just to add to it, Young will steal second base. The opposition has done very, very well against the Dodgers this year in stolen bases. The opposition has now stolen 24 out of 30. Young's 3rd stolen base of the year. Nady trying to pick him up. Pop fly right field. Ethier coming up, has to play it on a bounce, and the run will score. So Nady, a fly ball single to right, and picks up Chris Young. So that makes it 4-1 Dodgers, and the batter will be Stephen Drew against Matt Guerrier.
Shortstop number 6, Stephen Drew.
Stephen Drew struck out with runners at second and third. struck out with the bases loaded and fouled out. Also committed an error. Tough night. Fine young ball player, hitting .274. Right. 0-1. On 2. Four runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 5 hits for the D-backs. Matt Guerrier trying to finish as the setup man here in the 8th inning. He is 2-2, an ERA of 3 in his 19th game. Time. Oh, and 2. 35,506 with us tonight. Hope we'll see you over the weekend. And for Stephen Drew, the nightmare continues. He strikes out for the 3rd time, goes 0 for 4, and the Dodgers lead Arizona 4-1. Four to one in favor of the Dodgers. Bottom of the 8th inning. The Arizona Diamondbacks bring in their 4th pitcher, Juan Gutierrez. And the Dodgers will test him with Loney, Barajas, and Gwynn. Gutierrez is from Venezuela, 6'2", 210. He'll be 28 the middle of July and was originally signed by the Astros. Gutierrez, they say, speaks English very well. Helps some of the Hispanic players. Fastball, curve, slider, change, both 2-seam and 4. Ball 1. Last year, left-handers hit .286 with 6 home runs against him. Right-handers 228 with 6 home runs. Strike to Loney, 1-1. James grounded out twice, fly to center. One and one. Oh, change up. Wow, Loney way out in front of that. 1-2 the count. Two and two. Gutierrez, like just about every pitcher who ever lived, has had his problems: a tender elbow, sore arm, inflammation in the right shoulder. And a drive into the gap in left center. Chris Young on his horse and picks it off. So one away. Nice play by Chris Young, and Rod Barajas coming up. Homered in the 5th inning to break what was then a no-score ball game. Rod's 7th home run to tie with Matt Kemp. That made it 1-0, and the Dodgers then added another when Kemp doubled in a run, and then 2 more in the 7th inning, all with 2 out in the 7th. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Vicente Padilla begins to warm up to close it up in the 9th inning. 0-1. When Padilla comes in, he will be facing Justin Upton, Kelly Johnson, and Gerardo Parra. Oh and 1. One and 1. Chad Billingsley tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Big Fox. Sunday, the Dodgers will see Ian Kennedy. Ted Lilly due to be on the mound for the Dodgers. 1-2 to Rod Barajas. Got him. Fastball. 2 out. And that'll bring up Tony Gwynn, late inning replacement for Jerry Sands.
Tony Gwynn Jr.
Well, Tony coming up for his first licks of the night. Checks in, hitting .234 with 3 runs batted in. Jay Gibbons comes out on deck. He'd bat for Matt Guerrier if Tony saves him in that bat, but he can't as he lines out to short. So at the end of 8, Dodgers 4, D-backs 1, Vicente Padilla coming in to turn out the lights. Dodgers lead Arizona 4-1 as we go to the ninth inning. A chance for the Dodgers to be 2.5 back in this Wild West division. But Don Mattingly, he has seen a tremendous performance by Clayton Kershaw. Clayton went 7, struck out 11, and retired the last 14 in a row that he faced. Matt Guerrier came in and gave up a run, and now Vicente Padilla will pitch the ninth inning. He'll face Justin Upton, who is 0 for 3. Upton in the past 3 for 9 against Padilla. Then he'll face Kelly Johnson. Johnson 2 for 6 with a home run against him. And then he'll face Gerardo Parra, who is 4 for 7 against him. So he's going to be facing 3 tough hitters, at least statistically. And here's the first one, Upton. Interesting, Upton is 0 for 3, but in the past few weeks, he's been particularly successful in the late innings. From the 7th inning on, he's hitting .476. 1-1. Batting average with runners in scoring position from the 7th inning on, .750. One ball, one strike. Upton hitting .254. 7 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Stephen Drew and Chris Young talking things over. Particularly tough night for Stephen Drew, has struck out 3 times and fouled out, made an error, failed to advance 5 runners. In fact, more than that, 6. But if you play this game, you will have those agonizing games no matter how good you are. 2-2. And of course, Gibby can tell you all about it. Ball 3. Vicente Padilla, coming off serious arm trouble, and has come back at the right time since Jonathan Broxton and Hung Chi Kuo are both down. Vicente will be 34 in September from Chinandega, the killing fields of Nicaragua. Off the plate. So Upton draws the walk, and that's only the second walk given up to Arizona. Nady walked back in the 3rd inning. Because Nady walked in the 3rd inning, and then that's when Kershaw, like a house on fire, retired 14 in a row. Here's Kelly, grounded out twice and struck out. Fouled away. It has been a truly joint effort by Arizona. Every man in the lineup has struck out at least once. Including the pitcher and the pinch hitter. 0-1. One and one. Diamondbacks are 1 game above 500 at home, but their record on the road 5-12 coming into this one. So it's been a tough travel time for Kirk Gibson. 1-1. Upton at first, nobody out. Upton has stolen 5 out of 8. 2-1. Padilla has made 9 pitches now. Fouled away. 2-2 to Kelly Johnson. Gerardo Parra on deck, and then the catcher Henry Blanco. Johnson was certainly a favorite when he was in Atlanta. Bobby Cox thought the world of him. Last year he hit for the cycle in July, and he's a rare infielder who had to have the Tommy John surgery. Ground ball to the hole by the diving Miles. Stopping at second is Upton. And so all of a sudden, the tying run, Gerardo Parra, coming up to the plate.
Gerardo Parra.
First and second, nobody out. Diamondbacks left 5 men in the first 3 innings. They've not had a chance to leave anybody until the 8th when they left Nady. And now here's Parra. Flied to left, struck out, flied to left again, 0 for 3. Little roller to Loney, and that will advance the runners to second and third. Miguel Montero, the catcher, will come up now and bat. He'll hit for Blanco, and if they stay alive in the game, of course, he'll stay in the game. So Miguel Montero hitting for Blanco, second and third, 1 out. 4-1 Dodgers, and we're in the 9th inning. Montero is 2 for 7 in the past against Vicente Padilla. So he's officially in it now. Montero last year sprained his right knee, but an MRI revealed that it was a torn meniscus, trying to avoid a tag at first base. Well, that shot him down. Oh, and 1. Montero did what we didn't have time to tell you. He is second in the league to swing at the first pitch, and he sure did that. You rarely have him called out. 0-2. Well, he is up there to hit, period. Hitting .261, 4 home runs, 11 runs batted in. He has walked 13, struck out 18, and first base open. A little foul off third, out of play. Montero is from Venezuela. 2 years ago, he received the Good Guy Award, given to the player who most fosters a positive relationship with the media who cover the Diamondbacks. He was signed back in 2001 and came up 5 years later. Miguel Montero. Fouled away. Montero signed a 1-year deal with the Diamondbacks in January of this year. Last year against right-handers, he hit .286, 7 home runs. career batting average, .267. And a little flare, and that's going to score 2 runs. A pop fly single, and the Diamondbacks with 1 out are down by only 1. As Montero a flare to center, scoring both Upton and Kelly Johnson. Russell Branyan, a left-hand batter, will now come up. So Padilla has given up a walk, 2 hits, 2 runs, and it's 4-3. And Honeycutt now wants to talk to Padilla as to how they like to pitch Russell Branyan. Branyan has certainly been around a bit. Russell, big fella, he's 6'3", 200, out of Warner Robins, Georgia. Lives in Nashville, Tennessee. He'll be 36 in December. Originally signed by the Cleveland Indians in 1994. Came up in 98. Had a pretty good career with the Indians. Then he went to the Reds and the Brewers and the Gable Rays and the Padres and the Phillies and the Cardinals. Then he went back to the Brewers and the Mariners, and back to the Indians and the Mariners, and again the Diamondbacks. In looking at his long career, he had 31 home runs 2 years ago with the Mariners. That would be his big league high. So here's Russell Branyan with a runner at first and 1 out. 4-3 Dodgers. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Fastball strike. 1-1. Just off the plate. With that open stance, Padilla is keeping the ball away. Down in the bullpen, Kenley Jansen begins to warm up. See that right foot pulled back from the plate as Jansen heats up in the pen. 2-1. Ball 3. So Padilla walked the first man, then gave up a single, and with 1 out gave up another single, which scored 2. Fouled away. 3-2 to Branyan. Russell hitting .218. He has 1 home run, 2 RBIs. He has a boy and a girl. The boy's name is Cash, named after Johnny Cash, which figures. He lives in Nashville. 3-2. Montero, slow runner, barely any lead at all at first base. Foul back, and took the mask right off Rod Barajas' face. Still 3-2. Dodgers have led all the way, 1-0, 2-0, 4-0, 4-1, and now suddenly with 1 out, 4-3. Padilla is laboring. He's ready to make his 24th pitch of the inning. Branyan is 0 for 12 as a pinch hitter. Fouled away. Pretty much everything is either on the outside part of the plate or away. That was outside. Of course, with his power, with his reputation of having hit a lot of home runs, they've been staying away. Three and two to Branyan. Came in. That's, I believe, the only time in the sequence that he actually came in on the hands, and he strikes out Branyan with a fastball. Right up in there. Everything else away. So Branyan now 0 for 13 coming off the bench. That means 14 Diamondbacks have struck out tonight. And I remember reading they were saying that they've improved from last year. And this is our first look at him, and you start to question that. So here's Young, who has 3 hits, a stolen base, and ball 1. Kershaw struck out 11. Guerrier struck out 2. Padilla has nailed 1. The tying run, Montero at first. The tough spot for the Diamondbacks, Montero is the tying run. You have a veteran catcher over there, and you can't run for him. They don't have any more catchers. Montero, 28, 5'11", 195. Certainly doesn't feel like any threat of going. 2-0. And a strike. We mentioned the fact that the Diamondbacks have struck out 14 times tonight. Interestingly enough, it is the fact they're a very aggressive hitting team. Only one of the 14 strikeouts was the hitter caught looking. 2-1 to Young. Two and 2 to Young. Now the crowd on its feet, trying to root Padilla home. Gibson has heard the roar of the crowd at Dodger Stadium, but not exactly this way. Montero a very short lead. Just off the plate. So the one little edge, they can't put a pinch runner in for Montero, but at least with 2 out he can be going. But even then the Dodgers are going to keep Loney on the bag, and Montero can't even take a good lead. There he goes, and a foul ball. And again now Padilla came in on Chris Young with that pitch after working a couple away. Came in to strike out Branyan. In fact, he came in on Young so much, Chris thought he might have cracked the handle. He backed out to check the bat. 3-2 and 2 out, 4-3 Dodgers. Tying run will be in motion at first base in Miguel Montero. There he goes on ball 4, and this one is still alive. So Padilla walks his second inning. He walked up to begin now, and it must be maddening for the Diamondbacks. Montero is the tying run at second, but it will take an awful lot to get him home. And it doesn't take any more for Don Mattingly to go to the pen for Kenley Jansen. Padilla made 32 pitches here in the 9th inning in relief. So it is 4-3 Dodgers, but as Jansen comes in, the D-backs have the tying run at second, a go-ahead runner at first, and we'll be back. And he comes out with 2 runners aboard and the Dodgers leading 4-3. While he was in there, he gave up 2 singles, 2 walks. And now Kenley Jansen, with that high ERA, is asked to close. Melvin Mora 1 for 4 at the plate. Mora doubled, struck out, grounded out, flied out. Montero, the tying run at second. Young, the rabbit, at first, but he has nowhere to go. Fouled away. But Jansen now has Mora, no balls and 2 strikes. $35,506 taken in the ball game. Remember, 4 o'clock tomorrow, and then the 1:10 game on Sunday. And looking at the Dodger outfield, if they have to make a play on Montero especially, Gwynn has 3 assists, Kemp has 2 assists, Ethier has 3 assists. 0-2. Fouled away. Well, Kirk Gibson, of course, he would love to switch the runners. He'd feel a lot better if he had Chris Young at second and Montero at first, but that's not the way it can be. So would Alan Trammell. 0-2 to Mora. Got it. Fastball, 97 miles an hour. Mora strikes out. 15 Diamondbacks struck out tonight. 11 by Kershaw, 2 by Guerrier, 1 by Padilla, and the high fastball for Jansen to strike out the final batter, Melvin Mora. It took him 4 pitches to put the lid on it. 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for Arizona. A reminder, stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.